It was good. Every time I have a healthy off season, I do well. So it was good. A lot of family time, a lot of time in the gym, a lot of golf. But now we're back here in Sacramento, I'm ready to go.
Joining a team mid-season, I know there's plenty of chaos alone with that. Now getting to settle into a training camp,
Yeah.
do you expect it to be a little, I guess, less chaotic and more free?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just more comfortable. Um, you have to do your job when you get traded mid season. I think we handled the best you could. I mean, there was a lot of changeover even before I got here. But now I think, especially with Scott in here, we have one direction and singular voice, and everyone starting from ground zero. So you can't beat that.
What was your reaction when you heard that direction and his kind of 6 points of what he wants his team to be? And of course, Doug. Like, what was your just reaction to
It
the
was
identity?
it was great. I've known Scott for a decent amount of time even before I got here, and seen him and talked to him before. Scott's a winner, and I think with his direction and with what he wants to do, those 6 points that he points out a lot of give you a chance each and every night to put yourself in the best position to win. So you have to follow that.
Do you anticipate, like to the previous point, there was a lot of change last year. You're part of some of it.
Yeah.
Some of it. Does this feel like you guys are going into another season where you kind of have to be kind of prepared for anything, or like maybe there could be some stability throughout the year?
I mean, regardless of whatever situation is thrown at me, I feel like I'm always prepared. I've done this enough, and I've been in enough situations. Not a lot of things that surprise me, but from being where we are right now, I think everything's on the up and up. We're very excited to start the season off and be a team that's looking to win. I think we start from ground one right here. Obviously, enjoy talking to you guys. During media day, everyone gets their smiles on. It looks pretty, but then starting tomorrow, we really get the work in.
The
How
West
much,
is
Jake, real quick? How much do you think you guys can benefit from having like a full training camp and a start of a season to do some things offensively and figure out how like the pieces can and should work together?
Yeah, I mean, every team needs a training camp. I don't care who you are, and especially with a team like us, where we had a lot of changeover, not just player-wise into this year, but front office and coaching-wise. So it's going to be good for everyone to get on the same page, and that doesn't mean it's going to happen right away, but we're going to do our best to get it nailed out right now.
Zach, the West is extremely tough, and outside noise doesn't have very high expectations for this team. Do you like being the underdog mentality heading into the year?
I mean, I don't care. We got to play everybody, so it doesn't matter to me. There's always noise. There's always talk, and you know who's really good in the West, and you know who's good. When you play other teams too. But you try to do it. Well, at least from my perspective, we're going to do our best to put our name with those best teams. If people think about it with us or not, it really doesn't affect the way we go out there and play.
Zach, what's the domino effect on you and the rest of the team having a veteran and experienced point guard like Dennis?
Yeah. No, Dennis is great. First off, congratulations to him, especially what he just did overseas and winning that and winning the MVP. Dennis has been nothing but a true pro, and we battled against him. I have being in the Eastern Conference. Very feisty, but very high IQ and team oriented guard. And I'm excited to work with him and being with a point guard that's definitely been in big time games and knows what he's doing. So I think having a lead guard is big in the NBA.
Have you gotten any opportunity this summer to work specifically with Domas and the two-man game, or are you emphasizing that in training camp at all?
To me and Domas talked a lot this summer. Domas was up in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, which I was a little envy of because it's really nice. But we saw each other in LA a couple times, and then over the last 3 weeks, we've actually been coming back in here into Sacramento, coming in and out, and we've been doing good, man. The team came early. We've been playing. We've been practicing. We've been getting reps in. Not just me and Domas, a lot of the guys, and a lot of the young guys have been here. Been in here a lot, which is big. So, I think we're all going in the right direction.
Health-wise, how you feeling?
As good as I did last year. Shoot. So yeah, I feel pretty good, man. Obviously you get nicks and bags throughout the season. That's just that's just NBA. But I feel good. I feel really good, and that's what I was excited about.
Zach, you currently halfway through the season now this year, whatever. Now having not to go into a full season, how do you approach it differently than coming in and
The same way I did every time. This is the first time I ever had to. I was traded mid-season. This is the first time I ever I dealt with the best I could, and we were trying to win games, and obviously, but training camp is where you get to build. You get to get on each other. You get to figure out what works and what doesn't. Even through preseason, like we all need preseason and training camp. I don't care how good you are, how long you've been in the NBA for, how many games you played. We each need that timing and that rhythm and the contact. So I'm excited for it. I enjoy training camp.
Were you able to have the voice you wanted last year, coming here mid-season compared to maybe where you are now?
I think last year, I was trying to come here and obviously just, I don't want to say fit in, but I think people know me and know my voice, but it's a little bit different when you get to know everyone. When you have an understanding of what type of player you are and who you are to the organization. So I think having a full training camp helps out with that, at least from somebody that's coming in midway from last year.
What comes to mind when you think about what worked and what didn't as you guys tried to put it all together on the fly last year?
I mean, we're extremely talented, but if we're not outscoring teams, we got to figure out what's going to be our identity. And I didn't think last year we had an identity at all, and that's what Scott and Doug talked about a lot. And if you can lean on your identity, even when your offense isn't well, you always will be. You'll have a fighting chance. You're not going to win every game. We know we're not going to go 82-0, but to have an identity and a singular focus each game with a game plan of what we're trying to do, I think that's going to be a lot.
Defensively, how can you elevate your game?
I mean, I think defensively, we each got to know what our strengths and weaknesses are and how the team can build around that. Effort and competitiveness is the main thing. I mean, you're not going to go from, somebody like me. I'm not going to be Kawhi Leonard overnight. I don't think any of you guys or me is going to expect that. But, I think that the competitiveness, us being able to challenge ourselves and not, I don't want to be scored on. I don't think anybody does. And I think that's going to be the focus of the team is, how can you hold your own yard? And then if your teammate does, and sometimes you will get beat, how can we be there to help? If we have a support system that helps our weaknesses, I think we'll be good.
What do you make of the rookies, Neek and Maxime, and how they've adapted to the NBA lifestyle already?
I was just messing with them the other day. They've been in here for the last 3 weeks, like I said, working hard. They've probably been here longer. Neek is an older dude that's coming to the NBA with a little bit more NBA body. Ask a lot of questions. I have him shoot with me a lot, and I like him. Max is extremely skilled. I think we're going to see a lot from Max, even just playing. He knows how to play the game. He has a good feel for the game. But I told him, I said, man, look, everyone's going to hit a wall. It just depends on how hard that wall is for you guys. So just make sure you're getting your sleep and your recovery. And we'll all help you as vets to try to take care of you the best we can.
Zach, you made it a point to get to the rim many times last season. Didn't always get calls. Saw you got some practice in, a lot of practice with contact this summer. How big is it to your game to continue
Getting to the rim?
Yes.
Yeah, that's part of my game. I've been doing that for 12 years. Doug says it's we're not complaining to the refs this year. I had a game versus you guys where I had like 37, but I got to the line like 10 times, and I didn't get to the line 10 times. I don't think one time with the Kings. So we'll do a little bit better job of that. But I'm gonna play my game regardless. If I'm getting to the lane, if I'm shooting pull-ups, or if I'm shooting threes, I think I'm pretty good at all those.
What do you look forward
Last
to
one,
in
guys.
terms of going up against Keon, maybe in training camp? And how would you rate him as a defender?
Keon?
Yeah.
Keon has some of the best hands I've seen from a defender, even when we matched up against each other in the NBA. He guards most of the best perimeter players, and he does a good job because he's a little bit smaller. So but he works in his advantage to where he tries to take that away and uses pressure. I think we are going to have a good defensive team, this year because Devin's been really good defensively. Dennis has always been a menace. I mean, that actually rhymed too. Dennis has been always, somebody that picks up and is aggressive as well. Keegan is great defensively. So, we have a lot of guys, defensive-minded players. Hopefully we can all fit in. But, to Keon, Keon's been so good, and I don't think he gets enough credit for how well he shot the ball. We all talk about his defense. A guy, he shot 40? You guys probably know, 42%. Like he's not missing a lot of shots. He was taking like 3 a game. That's every game you're making 2 out of 3 or 1 out of 3. Like that's, if he can keep doing that, that's incredible.
Cool. Thanks,